Hey everyone, Steve here with Class A. So, what most of you guys don't know is I have a collection of art. I've always been a big fan of art. I have some pretty ancient things. I think my oldest piece is a 300 plus year old throne carved in, I think, Europe. I have the paperwork somewhere. I have to dig it up. But I also have a lot of other things like these African masks that you see being scanned in. So one of the things that EinScan, the people over at Shining 3D, have talked about is art preservation and doing color scans and all sorts of other stuff. So I've taken it upon myself to at least get started on scanning some of my artwork and see what we come up with. Now, as you can see behind my shoulder over here, I have the scan coming up. So this is the software. And because I'm using the color attachment, this little guy right up on top, it's able to take the textures, various colors of the actual mask. And as you can see, it's doing a pretty nice job of capturing all of that. Now this is a dark part. I tried the HD scan just to see if it would even work. I knew I wasn't going to keep that scan because it doesn't have the actual color map of the part. But I had a really difficult time. I think I need more lighting or better lighting. You can see I still have some shadows in here. Maybe I have to get some sort of a light stand over there, whatever it is, to give me a better environment for the scans. But anyway, as you can see here, I'm pretty happy with so far the results. I've got it propped up on a little pedestal, give it a little bit of an angle. Give it a bit more of a cleaner shot for the camera to get to. You can see there's a lot of depth and some detail on the mask, so I want to make sure I capture as much of that. Okay, I'm back. First scan is done. You can see it's picked up a little noise off of the turntable, and that's fine. I'm going to leave it. I could clean it up, but I'm going to leave it and just clean it up all at once once the second scan has been taken. So here, I'm just going to simply accept the results. And then now, I just align my camera, my fancy dancy handy scanner. I basically moved this up a little bit, and there's a little crosshair. It's very difficult to see, it's very faint, but I've taken it, just moved it up, so it's going to capture now from basically just under the nose and the rest of the face, the rest of the mask. So I want to make sure that I get all the beautiful little details on this. Alright, we'll go like this, and continue to scan. What it's going to do right now, maybe a little tricky to see, but it's saying verifying. So it's going to take a couple of images. The first few are going to be a little slow, and it's going to verify A, that it can capture the scan, and B, that it recognizes the geometry to be able to overlay to the prior scan as well. So it's just verifying that it can do all of that stuff. Once it's done verifying, it'll just go on as normal. So looks like everything is going to work out. So far the scan looks pretty good. And just going to wait a minute. There it goes. So it found it, located it, it's verifying that the scan is going to be just fine, and it's going to proceed on to the rest of the scan with the mask. When I come back, I'll have both scans, and we'll see what happens with the auto alignment. So, see you in a second. Alright, I'm back. So, done scanning. I got some good detail on this one. I mean, it looks like it filled in some of the little patches and holes. And I'm just going to accept everything as is and give it a green check mark. Now, what it's going to do is it's going to compile the two scans. It's going to take one and overlay them. Right? It's going to find common markers, common points, stick one on top of the other, and let's see what we get. Looks like I got a fairly good and complete scan. Not so bad. So this is where I would probably, yeah, look at that. It really filled it in nicely. I need to clean up some of these points and a little bit better fidelity in the scan in this area. You know what I think I'm going to do is I have it propped up. I'm going to give it a little bit more, a slightly higher angle, scan it one more time so it's a little bit more direct facing to the camera. I could also lift the camera up and point it down at a sharper angle, one or the other. So that way I can get a little bit more fidelity looking straight down. You can see some of the bright spots here, especially on the little face at the top over here. So I'm gonna, you know what, I'll just adjust the camera and then point the angle down and bring it in a little bit. See what ends up happening. So I'm gonna do one more scan. See you in a minute. So I did as I said I was going to. I lifted the camera up about another foot and a half, tilted it sharply down looking directly at the face, and I got a good capture. You can see it filled in all of the bright spots, kind of missing spots earlier. There's a little bit here that it's missing, but I think that has more to do with the fact that I don't have really good light in the room. So next time, or one of these days, maybe I'll get a lamp, stick it behind it, and give it a bit more ambient light to work with. But other than that, I think it's done a fantastic job. You can see textures, you can see you know, all the little cracks in the wood and everything. So I'm very impressed, especially with this because it's a fairly dark piece. And like I said, probably if I get a little bit more ambient light, it'll do a better job. Anyway, I'm very happy with it. The color attachment's done a very good job. I'll be doing a few more of these with the color attachment and again doing some comparisons with what the real part looks like and what the scan had managed to capture. But so far so good. Very happy. Well, like the video if you learned something, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please share with your friends. Again, my name's Steven with Class A. I will see you soon.